Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're opening this massive Haribo candy set. I'm so excited. We're going to be making all sorts of recipes. Let's get out the cards inside to see what all this comes with. So the first side of the instruction sheet shows you how to make the cherries and the frogs. So you're going to be making a bunch of those. Very simple. Then once you have those made, you can make cookies with them. You can put some in the bag if you want them in the bag. But then you can also ice the cookies and then set them on top to cure. So that's pretty cute. And then on the back we have the mold for making the twin snakes and for the gummy bears. I feel like this is going to take forever to do all the various colors. Again, you can put them in the bags when you're done, but then you can also make a cake with the gummy bears. And the cake, there's a hole in the middle, so you can have them pouring out of the cake, it looks like. Then you could also ice it and put the gummy bears on the outside. And then you can make popsicles with the snakes. So pretty cute, but probably pretty time consuming with all the color variations that you can do. So they gave us lots of nozzles, silicone molds. I'm so excited for these. So we can do 6 cherries at a time. I'm a little concerned if the colors are gonna run, but we're gonna find out. And then here's the bags. They give you, and then it looks like you can fill them, and then there's maybe like a sticker here, and then you could seal it. So I like that. That's adorable. I'm definitely going to, I feel like that's going to be my priority, putting them in the bags so we have it for our little shops and stores. And then I will make some cookies, but that's not what I'm looking most forward to, I'd say. But they have stuff laying on there so you can see what it's supposed to look like. You can make cherry cookies, put them on the cherry tray, so that's adorable. And then there's a gummy bear looking tray as well that you can put the cookies on. So very cute. I'm gonna go ahead and undo all of this stuff and then we'll start making some of the gummies. I want to show you some of the stuff that came in there. There is a plate that you can put the cake on. It says Haribo and it has orange gummy bears on it. Also have the cake, which I said is hollow on the inside, so you can have gummy bears falling out of it when you slice it. I think that's cute. What else did I want to show you? We have the branded spatula. We also have this silicone bowl with gummy bears on it, so we can mix different colors. We have our icing, we have our stand that does say Haribo on it, and it's got the gummy bear guy's face there. It's really hard to see though. And then for the cake, they gave a gold spoon with a red gummy bear. I think that's really cute. We have a Haribo cake stand that does have a dome to go with it. And this, I think, is for maybe mixing colors or something. Not quite sure. But I think the first step for any of this, we have to make some of the gummies. Pretty much all the gummies. I'm going to probably start with the cherries and the frogs. Since those colors kind of overlap, we're going to be doing green for both of those. And I guess I could also start doing some green gummy bears as well. So let's do that. On the white sheet of paper that it comes with, it does say to make all the candies first, which is a good idea, just to get all of them out of the way and set. I'm just going to put a little bit for each of the frogs, and then I'll go back and add more if I need to. There's also a couple tiny air bubbles. You can poke those with a toothpick, or for some of these molds, what I've been using with all my leftover resin, I've been spritzing the top of them with alcohol. It instantly pops any tiny bubbles that are on the surface. And I know it does not take much resin to make these, but it also doesn't feel like there's too much resin in the bottle. I'm sure it'll be fine, but that always does scare me a bit. So I'm just gonna let those set there a moment. Also a little scared about the cherries because how are they not going to run in there? Maybe they won't. I wonder if you should hurry up and do the cherry first or right away. Oh my gosh, how cute is that? That's adorable. And it's sitting in there real nicely. So it's not bleeding like I was kind of concerned about. Bring it in a little closer. Let's move the frogs. Just barely putting any in the top there, and it's kind of nestling in fine. And I don't know how many trays of these to make, because I also need these colors for the gummy bears themselves and even the gummy snakes. I feel like red and green is pretty versatile for all these. And I do have a lot of leftover resin, but not green or red, I don't think. So that's looking pretty cute. Of course, always get down eye level and look at all your stuff before you cure it to make sure it's flat across the back so it's gonna sit nicely. But let's set those aside for a moment. I know there's air bubbles there. I'm gonna have to, the green one's very airy. Gonna have to pop some of those. But I will do a couple green gummy bears and then red, and then we'll cure all these at once. It is a nice sunny day today, but I also have a UV light. I hope it's not going to be a nightmare to get these out since they're so tiny. But silicone is pretty flexible. I did, however, rip a hole in my, not a hole, I tore it, my mushroom mold. But to be fair, I've probably used that thing like 50 times. So I definitely got my use out of it. I just wasn't expecting it to rip. But it did. Okay, I'm gonna pop any air bubbles. I don't see tiny ones, there's just a couple like big air bubbles. So I will cure these and show you what they look like. I just realized for the frogs, you're not supposed to fill up the molds all the way. It shows you taking the white icing resin. I don't know what bottle that's supposed to be. It only shows the green bottle here, but it doesn't, I don't think it's supposed to be the gummy bear bottle because the gummy bear bottles all show as gummy bear. So I wonder if it's supposed to be this, which would be a lighter green. And then you mix it and then you fill it up the rest of the way with this little dropper thing to give it clear or whitish base. Kind of weird, but we'll do it because there's still room in there, so it'll be fun. I'm not sure if even mixing this is necessary. Like, can't we just leave it white? But it does say to use this. I'm just gonna put a drop of the green in there. It does show approximate, oh yeah, it's white. I was expecting it to be green for whatever reason. So if you mix that together, it's whitish, but I think it's supposed to be like to thin it out is what I assume. And then that'll be the white base for the frogs. I'm just gonna add a little bit more. Not too concerned if I don't have enough for the popsicles because it's just white resin, now that we know that. And then if I move these, so most of those are not filled up all the way. So you can just wait for this to drop down. Maybe need to thin it out a little bit more. And then just add a little bit of that. I think mine's still too thick. But I know what they're going for with this, and I think that's going to look cute and realistic. So I will fill these up, make sure they're flat across the back, and then cure them, and then I'll come back to show you how they turned out. I'm also going to work on some of the snakes now that I am curing the other ones. So for the snakes, you will need to make a purple, which again, we're using that red. I feel like they should have gave us 2 reds because we're using it on literally everything. So you mix the red and the blue in the silicone cup to make purple. So you're going to do purple and orange, but then there's other colors, yellow, green, red, blue, and you're going to do that 3 to 4 times, it says. So let's get a tray of those going. I think I'm going to do the red and blue because we already have the red out here, and they are semi-connected there. So let's see how that goes. I am a little scared. Just putting some red in. Does a pretty good job of like staying where it's supposed to, so that's good. So I just put a little bit and kind of let it settle, and then I go back in and fill them up. Make sure there's no bubbles. This is very bubbly, as you can see. But this is working pretty good, better than I had expected it to. I thought it was going to be a little bit of a mess to do the 2 colors in the same mold. But you can always use a toothpick if you need to drag some of the color around. But just take your time and it should come out fine. Oop, I said that and I just kind of blurred those colors together. That's okay though. That looks pretty. I'm working on a second tray, but I'll show you how they came out. Kind of hard to tell what they are, but I think that the white is helping, because otherwise I think it'd be super hard to tell. I don't know. But that is one set. I'm going to do another tray, cure it. I'll pick out my 3 favorite to put on the cookie, and then we'll bag the rest of these up and see how much it fills up in the bag. Let's pop out the cherries. I think those look really great, so I'm going to make a couple more trays of those and then pick out my 3 favorites to go on top of the cookie. And now let's look at the gummies. These are all popping out very easily. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. I can't wait to make these in all different colors. We still have yellow and orange and blue ones to make, so lots of fun. This is going to take a long time to make all these. The snakes are the ones I'm most worried about. Let's see. Those are pretty cute though. The colors for the most part don't blend together. But if they kind of do, it's okay. You can see a little bit of the red got in with the blue. But maybe you only really notice it if you're looking at it from the side. But anyways, it's cute. I kind of have them all separated in piles here, and I'm just going to keep repeating this process till I think I have enough to fill the bags. I have my 3 favorite frogs right here. These are all the leftovers. So now it says to take some of the icing. It just shows like a dollop of it, so we will put that in our bowl. I'm just gonna say like this much. I don't think we're gonna have enough to ice the cake. I'm nervous about that. But again, I have lots of leftover resin, so it might be fine for me, but not for other people. Now 4 drops of this, so 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you should mix that together. And then you can paint this on those cookies. Put a frog on top, and then cure it. It's cute. It's a light blue. I guess you can make it more blue if you'd want. I might add one more actually. It's a very light blue. Okay, something like that. Now you can do 3 cookies and then save the other 3 for the cherry cookies. I'm actually going to grab my tabletop so I could transfer them to the light. Okay. I'm going to put a dollop on each and then I'll smooth them out. I just want to make sure I have enough resin mixed up, which I think I do. Oops, just stuck my nail in it. And then you could stick this bowl under the UV light, and once all the resin cures, it comes off of it super easily, just peels right off. So that made just what I needed. And now you can kind of go in a circular motion to smooth it out. My card got full and it turned off and I didn't realize I wasn't recording, but I just dropped them in the center of the cookies and cured them. That's how they turned out. Pretty cute. Now we can add these to the bag and see how full it is. It does look like a pretty big bag. But I'm not going to seal it because I might make more. It just depends when we get done how much is left over. Oh yeah, that could hold pretty much. All right, so that's 2 trays of frogs, which is plenty, but it can hold much more. And then of course, minus the 3 frogs we put on the cookies. But those are super cute. I love that. I love they gave us these packages that then can be sealed for display, whatever you want to use them for. So next up, I guess we'll do the cherry cookies. So I did cure this and it just lifts up pretty clean. So now that you can add more to the bowl and do it all over again. So again, some more of this frosting. I feel like that's a good amount. And then we need 4 drops of the red. 1, 2, 3, 4. Give that a mix. And then we have 3 cookies that we can decorate. I forgot to pick my favorite 3 cherries. I still have my other tray of cherries curing, but I think they all turned out pretty good. So I'll just grab some from this pile. All right, so same as the last one. I'm gonna put a dollop of icing on each until they look pretty even, and then I'll smooth it out just to make sure we have enough resin. These are so cute. I think I'm gonna like these ones better than the frog. I think you're just gonna be able to see them better. Once you get all the resin on, start swirling in a circular motion. It's up to you how close you want to get to the edges. I just try to make it look as much like a circle as I can without getting too close. Something like that. Then I'm just going to take my cherries and drop them in the center of each cookie and then cure them. While the cookies are curing, we can fill our bag of cherries. Kind of wonder if I need a third tray because there's not too many on the tray. It's not like the gummy bear where you're making like 12 or whatever it is at a time. I mean, it's enough in there, but I think I do want another tray. And the cherries to me are like one of the easiest ones to make. I feel like the snakes are the hardest. I did go ahead and make some yellow and green ones. Oh, you can see them a lot better outside the mold. When they're in the mold, it almost looks like the same color from certain angles. And some of them need to be broken off a little. They still turn out great. It's just when you're pouring them, you're like, is this even gonna look cute? But it totally does. You can tell they're snakes. Love that. So I'm gonna do the purple ones here soon because I do have to mix those. I went ahead and made some blue and a few more red for my gummy bear pile. I still need to do orange and what, yellow? So the good thing is these are very tiny, so it does not take long at all to cure these, and they pop out fairly easily. So not too bad. Now that the cookies are done, we can put them on their tray. That looks cute like that. Or you can put them all kind of in the middle, that way you can see the cherry stem, or just put two on there because that's cute too. I feel like they look better in person, kind of difficult to see on camera. And then the frogs can go on the frog tray. So now our cookies are all done. Now we have to make the popsicle molds, which historically I haven't liked making in the past, but that's okay. It'll be fine. And then I still have to make gummy bears. I still need yellow and orange. I realized that blue's not even a gummy bear color, but blue's my favorite color, so it's whatever. I'm putting it on the cake, why not? So let's start mixing up the purple to finish our worms. Now to mix up the purple for the snakes, we have this container, and we're putting 10 drops of blue, 10 drops of red. I feel like the red is really struggling because we've used it for so many of them. The cherries, the gummy bears, this, the cherry icing. So hopefully I still have a little bit left in case I want to make some more red gummy bears, because I kind of do. This is not looking very purple. But I will remain hopeful. Really wish they would have just, you know, gave us a purple. That would have been cool. Yeah, and I'm looking at the instructions, 10 and 10. Maybe it needs more blue. I'll keep mixing it. I think we're just gonna have to roll with it. It kind of does look more purple when you hold it out of the container. But yeah, I think it looks okay. Kind of like the toothpick for filling this better than those nozzles. And of course, stirring it puts a lot of air in there. So there's lots of little tiny bubbles. I'll probably let them set for a little bit. And then, like I've been doing, spray them with, whew, these are gonna be a little two-toned, I fear, but that's okay. Spray them with a little bit of alcohol is what I was trying to say. And the orange, I'll show you what that looks like real quick. It's not very orange. It almost looks yellow. Okay, that 1000% looks yellow, does it not? But this is the orange. I just don't like these snake molds, and this resin is so bubbly that sometimes it causes it to go the other direction when you're trying to put it in there, because these massive air bubbles form. So these are not going to be the cutest, but I don't really care. The other ones are cute and they're two-toned either way. I don't care if they're half and half and they don't look the proper way. I'm fine with that, but I will make a second tray without the camera in between me and try to do it a little bit more pretty. The worms turned out better the second tray. I picked out one of each color that are like the better ones, I guess. So now we're gonna make this. I like that this is all one piece, so it's not split like they've had in the past. But it looks like you're gonna fill these at least a little bit, put the snakes in, and then we're going to add some green at the top of one and yellow at the top of the others. I feel like I should get a toothpick for this part. I'm probably going to sort of place them where I want them to go. Could at least use it to turn them. Have them going different directions. Some up, some down, sideways, however you want it. But of course, make sure it's how you want it. And that did put a lot of air bubbles in there, which I knew it would. So just try to maybe go slow. You could try to let it set a while before you cure it in hopes that some of those will rise, because that sometimes does happen. But to be fair, the bottle does say lemon lime, almost like it's Sprite. So mine look a little something like this. I'm gonna add just a touch of the clear resin there. Try to make it even. So one side we're going to add the green to, if there's any left. I use the green for a lot of them. Again, very air bubbly resin. So many bubbles. But we're gonna get this as close to the top as we can. It shows leaving like the smallest space. But I also feel like that's gonna push up when we put the lid on and put the sticks in there, but we'll see. I'm just gonna hold this for a bit. Let's try the yellow. There we go. All right, let me pop some of these air bubbles, then we'll put the lid on. I am scared. I'm so scared that it's gonna push up too much. It's also a little hard to navigate with these sticks because they're competing with the snakes below. Looks like it might slightly be uneven. I don't know if it's worth lifting up and trying to fix. Might just let it try to level out here and then cure it. Before I unveil my popsicles, I'm going to put my snakes in here. If I can get it open, there we go. I have pretty many snakes, so I'm gonna sprinkle colors in there. I made a lot of the purple ones just because I wanted to use all that resin. And I think technically you can probably make more of these because on the inserts they gave you, there is a yellow worm that you can probably pull off of there and a green one. And I think there's enough resin left of the clear resin at least. Because yeah, this definitely fills the bag pretty full. There's some to spare in there. So that's really cute. Let's take this off and see how it looks. Gonna have to wiggle it through. There is, before I take it out, there's like a little uneven part there. I think I might add a little bit of the clear resin and try to cure that. Okay, so now they look more even. So let's see, I'm always scared to pull them out of here, but they were outside for a very long time, so they should be fine. It's a little hard to see the snakes. because of the green, I think. You can't even really see the green and yellow one. I mean, it still looks cool, but I feel like the colors aren't as pigmented as they should be. Yeah, it gets kind of lost in there, but I still think they're cute. And I did even it out and it looks fine. So that's cool. I do like the one that's going this way. It's not very defined, it's just like a line. It almost looks tie-dyed or something, but I think it's cute. And then it goes in the holder like that. Now all we have left to do is make this cake. I'm actually a little impressed because the instructions tell you to do the side first, then the top, and then the piece of cake on the side. And normally they're just like, do the whole thing at once. So I like that they broke it down. I'm probably gonna do half of the side first and then do the other half, curing it in between. Just because I want to hold it and I want it to be easy to hold. Also, like I've stated, very concerned there's not enough frosting, because I don't think you're supposed to see those orange lines. I do not believe so. Maybe I should look at the picture. Yeah, the picture shows it like white and not being able to see those lines, which clearly you can. And I don't think we have enough icing to do a resin crumb coat. So I don't know if I should try to do that or not. I guess I need to decide like right this second. That's all we have left, and that's only a fraction of the cake. I kind of do want to do a second coat just so it's more white. Should we risk the biscuits? I'm pretty positive I have a lot of this exact resin. So you know what? Maybe we should. Because I don't want to be able to see those orange lines through it. So I'm going to go ahead and cure this. And then I'll come back and we'll do the second layer. I did find another vanilla one and then a Hello Kitty vanilla one, which should be the same. So I think I have enough to do this. Oh yeah, that looks way better with that second coat on, in my opinion. You can still see the orange a little bit, but I mean, you could even do another coat if you want. Oops, I just rolled it on the inside. Take a Q-tip and clean that off. Let me smooth this out to how I like it, and then we will strategically place the gummy bears. So they have theirs just all spaced out. Kind of have to make sure that they're going the right direction. And then I'm just gonna plop them on there. They have them all, whoops, facing up. Is that orange or yellow? It's so hard to tell. I feel like they look very similar, the orange and the yellow. And you could always go back and put way more on there if you want. This is just how I'm doing it for now. Okay, I think I'll put a yellow one over there. Maybe more upright. And then I'll cure that and do the other half. Could also work on the individual slice while that other one's curing. I'm just gonna do the same thing. Light layer, cure it, do a second layer, add a gummy worm or two, and then cure it again. I think this is adorable. I'm really loving this set so far. You'll have to let me know if you got this set, if you plan on getting this set, what you think about it. I think this looks pretty good. Now we're going to do our crumb coat for the side. Cure that, and then I'll do that other slice too as well. I could fit about 2 gummy bears on that slice. So I'm trying to, I wish I had, again, more resin for more reds because I don't have too many red gummy bears. And we could have made more cherries and had a little bit more color because the orange and the yellow, like I said, are pretty similar. I skipped through a tad just for the sake of this video not being 12 hours long. You can see the orange a little bit underneath, but not too bad. So this is with 2 layers of the white. Now all I have to do is decorate the top. Now that I can hold the sides, and honestly there's not much left. It's probably doable for what's in here, but I feel like it would be like just enough. They really could have filled it a little bit higher. So again, I'm gonna go through, do that light layer, the crumb coat, cure it, put another layer on, add the gummy bears and cure it, and then we're done. Very exciting. And make sure you turn it to the side and make sure you're getting the edges real good too. Okay, I got the second layer of icing on here. Now I just need to decide what colors, where I should put things, and that's probably the hardest part. I think I'm gonna do an orange here because I think I have one on the green over here. We'll do, some of these have little overhang pieces. We'll do green there. Of course, we want a red one. Then yellow. I'm just kind of scattering them. I don't really have a very particular way that I want them or need them on there. I adjusted them a little bit, but something like this, I'll cure it and then we will take a look about filling it. Okay, I decided I'm not gonna fill it because it's just gonna spill out. You can probably do like clear resin and have them mounted in there. I like that it's definitely an option. That would be cute, but as I've stated in lots of my videos, I have a young daughter who plays with them. So I know they will just get thrown everywhere. I'm just kind of scattering the colors in here. Oh my gosh, that's cute. I have leftover red, sorry, yellow and orange. So you can still make more gummy bears. Just don't have any more red. So that makes a pretty full bag. I like it. Get the reds in there. And I think I will go ahead and seal all these. Once they're as full as I like them, I think that's pretty full. That way it's not like too bulky, and then I have these left over we can put in like a little dish or something. But let's see what this is all about. So you remove this strip, and it sticks to you because it's all staticky. And we're just gonna fold it down like that. That was pretty flawless. Look at that. That's adorable. And then you have these packages. Now the stakes, I think I might take some of these out. There we go. I feel like that lays a little bit better if you remove some of them. Those are pretty bulky. So again, I'm gonna try to, here, let's lay it down and do it. Well, maybe not. And now we got a stuck snake. There we go. Oof. Okay. Cute. And then we have the frogs, not as full because we had to use the blue and the green multiple times, so we didn't make too many of those. And same with the cherries. We needed the red for plenty of other things, so we didn't make a ton of them, but enough to look cute in the bag. All right, and by now our cake should be ready. So those are our packages. I absolutely love these. I love that I made them. So that's a really cute, maybe even my favorite part of this whole set is the packages. I feel like this is giving fruitcake vibes because of the colors and the jelly stuff. But yeah, there's definitely a hole in there where you can throw some gummy bears, put a little clear resin and have them like spilling out there if you wanted. That's fun. Have them spilling out. But this goes onto our Haribo platter. Oh, I forgot the slice. This is the slice that I made that you can slide in there if you want. But yeah, very cute. And then you have this topper. Oh my gosh, doesn't even fit over it. Okay, well, can't use the topper, but that might be because I doubled up on the icing layers and the gummy bears are sticking out. But overall, very cute. So we have the cake, we have 2 different cookies, we have our pops, which, those are okay. And then we have our 4 bags of candy. I love this. If you guys are interested, I do have it linked below. MGA's site, I do earn a very small commission and appreciate it if you guys use the link because then it helps support my channel. Hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, thank you so much for watching. Bye guys.